Hi, welcome back to the World Go channel. I'm your host and self-appointed Go evangelist, James Story. Today's lesson is in the Life and Death series. It's lesson 4.7.3. We're going to look at 2-point notchers. That's shapes with two notches in them. I'll show you what that is in a minute. And we're going to look at shapes that are 5 and 6 long. So let's get right to it here. Get this out of the way. And right here are the two notches right there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 long. And yes, you count the notches. Why are these stones, why do they have stars on them? Because those are the shoulders to the notches. So this is the shoulder to this notch, and this is the shoulder to that notch. Without that, if white had one of those shoulders, for example, or both, there'd be a cutting point there. So we're going to give black the benefit of the doubt here, and they're going to get the luxury of having both shoulders to both cutting points, to both the cutting points of both notches. All right, so 5 long. Remember we did last time we did 5 long with one notch, and it was alive or dead according to Sente. So black could go there, and then these two are miai. White played one, black played the other, and white had 2 eyes. Black had 2 eyes rather. Even if white got to here and to here, black still has 2 eyes. Now you would think that if the group with more liberties inside it, that had more liberties, would be easier to make 2 eyes out of, and that is not necessarily the case, because this shape right here, 5 long, 2 notchers, is dead as it stands. Once again, if it were a 1-point notcher, then it would be alive and dead according to Sente. That would be alive, and that would be dead. But this is dead as it stands. Even if black goes first, let's say they go here. Well, obviously, if they make a 1-point notch, 5 long, white's going to kill it. So let's say they do this with it. Okay. Now black would next like to go here and use these 2 stones to divide this point from this point and make 2 eyes. But white's not going to let black do that, and so they come around the corner. If black comes down, notice what shape they have. It's a bent 3, right? And white's going to jump right on the vital point and kill the shape. At this point, the only hope that black would have is to crawl out this way and connect to another black group over there. If black, instead of descending, plays here to make an eye there and hopefully an eye here, white can come around the corner, and when black blocks, they still only have 1 eye. So even with Sente, this 2-point notcher, 5 long, is dead, even though that black has both the shoulders. Okay, so now let's move it out 1 here. Let's give black another stone. So we have 6 long with 2. All right, and here black has both of the shoulders also of the notches. We'll look at it when they just have 1 in a minute. Let's look at this first. This is alive and dead according to Sente. So black can play here, for example, and once again they would like to play here next to make an eye and an eye. So white comes around there, and then black is going to play down here. They could play this too, and when white came here, they would play there and make two eyes, right? But they can be a little more greedy, a little more aggressive, and play this. If they play this and here, they only get 2 points, right? If they come down like this, they form a bent 4, and they get 4 points. The zigzag 4 is what I call it. So if white plays there, black just blocks, and they have 1, 2, 3, 4 points again. So this shape, of course, has a these 2 are the vital points of the zigzag 4. So white can play one of these as a co-threat. Okay. In fact, when black plays this move, white should not play around the corner, because black then is going to just make this group live. All these moves by white now are thank you moves. Black says, thank you, you just helped my group to live. So white should save these 2 moves for co-threats. So when black plays here, they could play there too. Notice it's a symmetrical shape. White should wait. They would use this as a co-threat. Black would then descend. White could then retake the co. let's say black found a co-threat that white had to respond to. White could then use one of these shapes again, one of these points again in the zigzag 4, one of these 2 vital points as a co-threat, and black would have to decide, do I want to save this group or fill the co? If they saved that group, white could retake the co. So this 2-space notcher, 6 long, is alive or dead according to Sente. So if black gets there, it's alive, but notice they're still going to have 2 co-threats against it. So that's good to keep in mind. If it's white's turn, however, they simply come around one of these corners, and when black blocks, white can come around the other corner, and black blocks again, and notice they have a square 4, and the square 4 is dead as it stands. Black should probably not respond to the first one, to this first play by white, but black, it'll eventually kind of devolve or into become this square 4, and then black can use it as a co-threat. Black plays there, or any of these to form a bent 3. If white plays the opposite corner, the vital point of the bent 3, they'll kill the shape. Otherwise, if black says, no, I really have to fill this co, if white says, I really have to fill this co, then black can come here and turn that dead shape back into a live shape. Other things that black might try when white comes around the corner is playing here, hopefully getting in this move to divide this internal liberty inside the group from that one. But obviously, white's going to come around the corner there. When black blocks here, we're back again to a bent 3, and white's going to jump on the vital point. So with 2 shoulders, this is alive or dead in Sente. All right, 2 shoulders with 2 notches. Let's go to, take that away, and we'll put white there. Okay, and so they now have 1 shoulder to one of the notches, and this is a cutting point, right? White can play there and cut, so that's important. Okay, this is once again alive or dead according to Sente. All right, if it's black's turn, they have to protect, they have to make a tiger's mouth protecting this cutting point by white. Okay, so we got black. White sees that black would like to play here and make an eye here and have an eye there. So white comes around the corner here like this. Black then descends like this, and they have a bent 4. Okay, so at this point, what white should do is when black plays this, they should leave this group alone because it's going to be alive if they keep pressing it, and they should save it for a co-fight. If black takes a co and white wants it back, they can play this. All right. If black ignores that and fills the co, they can play this. And now if black plays there, white plays the bent 3, the vital point of the bent 3, and kills it. If black tries to get fancy and come back here, then black also needs this point to have 2 eyes, and white would just push in. So white would leave this alone. Here they'd play 1 co-threat against it. And then here they would have, they would have another co-threat against it. Okay, so that's alive or dead according to Sente. If it's white's turn, if it's black's turn and they play the wrong tiger's mouth, instead of playing here, they play here, then white can kill this shape. All right. First of all, they want to play here. All right, come around the corner like that, and now their threat is Atari and capture. So black has to play this move. All right, white then comes and makes that an Atari. Black then needs to capture, and now they have 1 eye here, but notice they need this move here, black does, to make this into an eye, and white comes around the corner and kills the shape that way. So if black blocks the wrong, makes a tiger's mouth out of the wrong notch, then white can kill the shape by playing into the other notch. So in this case, because black has this shoulder and white has this shoulder, this is the notch that black has to protect with a tiger's mouth. Other things that white might try are this, but then black comes down, white comes in again, and black just plays Atari and has 2 eyes. If white has both of the shoulders in the 2-point notcher with 6 long, all right, this is dead. There's nothing black can do to save it. For example, if they do this, they create a 1-point notch, 6 long, and white plays the vital point of the shape. Black tries to play this, white, and the next move would be black here to make two eyes. White comes around there, and the best that black has is a 3-point bent as a bent 3 with white already on the vital point. If black tries something like this, white can Atari, and black comes down. White comes around this side then. Excuse me. White comes around this side then, plays Atari. Black comes down, and then white comes around here, and those black's only going to have one eye. If when white, so let's go back to the shape here. Atari, play here, white comes around the corner. If black tries to get tricky and play this, white doesn't want to do something like this and allow black to live. They want to simply descend and turn this into just one eye instead. So when white later plays here, black picks up, and still they only have one eye. So those are the life and death of the 2-point notchers that are 5 and 6 long. Sometimes it can make a difference. Even though white might have both of the, even though white might have both of the shoulders, sometimes it can make a difference. Black can block here, and when white plays here, this is not an Atari. Notice if white had that move in, then black would have to play there. But since they don't have that move there, then black can play here and make either of these mi-eye. Notice though that if white had this stone here, right, then white could come around the corner, Atari, make black pick this up, and then come back in over here and reduce black to one eye. So in most cases, when you have a 2-point notcher that's 6 long, and white has both of the shoulders of the notches, that is dead no matter what, even if black has sente. When black has one of them or two of them, it's alive or dead. It's alive or dead according to sente. If black has 2 of them like this, all right, they can actually, instead of playing one of these points here, they can actually descend like this, all right. White comes around. Black does not want to block here because what shape do they create? They create a bulky 5, don't they? It'll be white's turn and they'll jump right on that vital point. Instead, black wants to play the vital point. When white comes in, black blocks, making 2 eyes, and maybe white comes back to there, right? If they're not going to come back to here, why did white do this? That'd be the question. So, but you can see black ends up with 2 eyes. So, what side, since this is kind of a symmetrical shape here, it's black's turn. Should they descend here or descend here? Okay, there's a little bit of a difference. If black descends here and white doesn't block, when black comes out, white can block and have a tiger's mouth. But instead, if black descends here and white doesn't immediately block, then black can try to escape. White can't play this here move, right, because then there's Atari. The only way they could do that is if white had a live shape over here in the corner that they could run to. Instead, they have to back off one. All right. Now, there's 3 possible moves from this position for black. One is here, one is here, and one is here. All right. When black plays here, white has to back off to there. All right. And then black tries to get out. White blocks, but is protected with a tiger's mouth. The cut's protected with a tiger's mouth. Black goes here. White plays here, and that's protected. The cut is protected with a tiger's mouth. So when black plays here, white must play here. All right. Other moves that black can make are out to here, and then white Ataris. Black comes back, and when black comes back to that point, white has to play this point. All right. And then black up to here, and white blocks, just as we saw before. All right. Another move that black might try is actually this one. Okay. White Ataris. Black comes back. The safest move for white here is this one. Once black plays here, white plays there. Black tries to get out, and white blocks, and is connected with tiger's mouse. If white wants to get a little greedy and a little aggressive, they can try this, but note black does have a cutting point here, and white can't push them this way because then they're going to lose these 2 stones, right? White tries to get out, black Ataris and captures. White tries to get out, black Ataris and captures. white tries to skip out or jump out there. To skip out, black Ataris, white goes here, black captures, white tries to skip out down here, black throws in, white captures, black Ataris, and when white connects, black captures. Okay, so you want to, if you have 6 long here, and you have both shoulders, the 2 notches, then you want to descend, and you want to descend from down to where you might be able to get out. Okay, so that would be the preferable. In this case, what white wants to do, they might want to block here, you know, but probably not a lot of points going to be going on here. They don't want to come around here. Black will. Black doesn't want to do this, right? Here's the bulky 5, and there's the vital point. So they want to play the vital point first, and then white comes in here, and then black blocks, and white comes back. Obviously, that makes black alive, so white doesn't want to do this. White wants to wait. They want to save this as a co-threat. Black plays there. That's one co-threat. Here's another co-threat. All right. And black can block there. And let's see if black can like ignore that for a minute. Black can actually ignore that one more and play there. So this first one is a co-threat, but the second one is just kind of a half co-threat. Can black do this? Nope. White can't do that either. So the first one's a co-threat. Black has to play here. The second one's not really a co-threat, and black can ignore it if they want. If white has nothing else but this as a co-threat, then they do that. Black obviously connects, and then white will have then a co-threat here next time, because they can play that. And if black responds up here, black will have 2 eyes. If black doesn't respond up there, then white gets up there. Black get Atari, but then white can come back. Okay, so those are the 2 space notchers, 6 long, 5 long or less are dead. With both, if black has both of the shoulders to the 2 notches, they can descend one side or the other. All right. If they have one of the shoulders and white has the other, then they must protect that cutting point there, and they'll be alive. All right. If they have neither of them, if they have neither of the shoulders to the notches, then they're going to need some other liberties on the outside to live. All right, and then they want to go, since this is not an Atari, they can go here. White comes around there. Black comes down. White's going to play this. Now there's a threat, isn't there? Atari. When black connects, white comes down and gets on the vital point of the bent 3. But it's black's turn here, so they simply play this and connect. So if black has 1 or 2 of the shoulders, then they're alive or dead according to Sente. If white has both of the shoulders, black needs some outside liberties to help it, and they need to have Sente also. So that's the 2-point notchers, 5 and 6 long. And the next lesson we'll do 7 long, which are usually alive but not always. Here's something to think about. What happens if we do something like this? Oh. Well, you know, you can't really take one out and put it on the other side, can you? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Here's something to look at. All right. This is 6 long, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead of the notches being like in the middle, like this, oops, like this, there we go. All right, this leg is longer and this leg is shorter. All right, oops, one more, sorry. Okay, so this is something, get your stones. Once again, the best way to learn this stuff is to get your stones out and play around with it. So here's one you can kind of look at and decide, you know, if it's alive or dead. It's 6 long. It's probably alive or dead according to Sente. Notice white has this cut here, right, because they have that shoulder. So get your stones out and see if you can solve this one. Thanks, and we'll see you next time on the World Go channel. Goodbye.